remember being in my hotel room the night before, just going through notes. And they didn't ask me any of that stuff. They asked me, you know what they asked me about?
What?
Mainly, I had on there that I worked at Zaxby's in high school, and that's mainly what they were asking me about.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Bunduk. We here back again. It's the Dukesday podcast. I don't even know what episode number this is, but I'm gonna drop the episode number down there. Shout out my boy Vince. We out here. We live and direct in Tampa, Florida right now. You know what I'm saying? This is where my brother Vince is based out of. Me and Vince go way back. We go back like all the way to high school, like more than 15 years ago. It's been a long time coming, and this dude right here, let me tell y'all about this dude. This dude drops the rawest pencil beats, yo. He drops the rawest pencil beats, and like even yesterday when we were at the bar, and he started dropping the beat. Oh, I started freestyling, and I was freestyling to no beat, and then he came in with the beat so perfectly. You know what? We're gonna cut to that video right now.
Got the bars, and you know I go hard. I be well connected, kind of like the stars. Yeah, that's a constellation. Every situation, she want to freestyle with hits of demonstration. I brought it back around, cause y'all already know my boy, he hold it down. Drop the beat up on the table. That's just how we do. You know you better understand and go and get a clue. Yeah, that's my boy Vince. I known him since Wilson High School. We was spending that spent got the drink, it might just slide. Had to get my little tequila on the side. That's Don Julio, 1942. I be looking like a round, like, what about you? What you gonna do? Yeah, it's gonna do. Every time I spit these flows, they're like, man, that boy gonna shoot. Cause I straight shooter. You know what I do, bro. Every time I spit it, man, I rip it like a tutor. I'ma school ya.
Yeah, that joke was wrong, wasn't it? hey, them post-production folks is dope. Yeah, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Funny thing is, I'm the post-production folks. I be trying to make myself sound cool.
Handle that killing it in post.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. You know, we went to high school. We went hard. We were in like all these AP classes and honors classes, all these college prep courses we took. And, you know what I'm saying, we ended up at two of the most amazing universities in Florida. You know, although we rivals, you know what I'm saying, it's all love at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Tell us a little bit more about your journey, man, because I know you went to college, you studied a little bit of computer science. I remember we used to talk about that because I was also a computer science major.
Right. Yeah, man, I mean, we met at Wilson.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't the greatest of schools, but, you know, we're in the AVID program, and I feel like that kind of shielded us from a lot of...
Facts.
But can I cuss on here?
Yeah, but I don't care.
Shielded us from a lot of like bullshit that was going on at the school, you know what I'm saying? We were all like the AP classes, the honors classes, like all that shit. And so we fucking worked hard. I didn't really work hard, to be honest. That was one of my main problems.
But if you really think about it, bro, you had to have worked hard you wouldn't have made it to FSU if you ain't worked hard.
That is true.
Because like we have like a perception of our level of work ethic, and then we have the perception of where we think we should be working hard because we know what our max ability is.
You're right.
But our like 70% is somebody else's 120% if you think about it.
That's absolutely right. So I was working hard, but not as hard as I could have been working. So that actually tripped me up when I got to college, when I got to FSU.
Right.
So I started at FSU. I'm like, you know, I never tried that hard.
Right.
Like, in high school, we were in AVID. We kind of ran that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me just do chemical engineering, right? Just because it sounds cool. I wanted to be like the Black Bill Nye.
Black Bill Nye.
And
oh man,
that shit did not work out. I wasn't showing up to class. I was like, man, I was just looking at YouTube videos. Like, I got it. Didn't work out too well for me. So I'm like, all right, let me pivot into computer science.
Right.
But at the time, I still didn't have my mindset right. So even when I switched over into that, I'm still like, man, I don't like, this isn't working out either. So finally, I just got like a little bit more mature. I was getting older. I was like, all right, let me try IT. So I switched into IT, and that's when I really started putting like 100% effort into what I was doing. And I did really well. And I want to say the summer before I graduated, I went to a career fair, my first career fair, and I got an internship.
Doing what?
Doing cybersecurity.
Okay.
And the thing is, I didn't know shit about cybersecurity. I had because I was trying to like, you know, set myself up right. I had that I was a member of like a bunch of these clubs.
Right.
I was a member of the cybersecurity club, which I was. However, I never really did anything with them.
Right.
So when they saw that on my resume, they're like, okay, we can work with this, whatever. So I ended up getting the interview, and they didn't ask me any questions about cybersecurity, anything.
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, cool. And after the first round, they were like, all right, you passed the first round. We're going to fly you out to Tampa for the next round.
Wow.
I'm like, all right, cool. So I started studying like all these different types of attacks and like all this stuff. Never asked me about any of this stuff.
Wow.
And other interviews either. They asked me about my
so you was in a situation, you got the internship offered to you. You just accepted it. You were like, yo, I say yes and learn it later.
basically, yeah.
Yo, that's a real that's like a real like entrepreneurial business perspective. It's like you could take that opportunity because you know what you're capable of. You're like, okay, it's cybersecurity. I know I can learn that. I know I can hold my weight because I've proven it. I mean, I've been in IT for so long. They wouldn't have even entertained it if they didn't actually see that you were qualified for a certain level. So dang, so you got flown, you ready to get flown out. So that's when you really started cramming.
Yeah, for sure. I remember being in my hotel room the night before, just going through notes. And they didn't ask me any of that stuff. They asked me, you know what they asked me about?
What?
Mainly, I had on there that I worked at Zaxby's in high school. And that's mainly what they were asking me about. The guy who hired me, he was telling me, he's like, listen, I don't care if you know cybersecurity or not. I can teach you that. What I want to know,
that's real.
Yeah. He's like, what I want to know is if you're going to be a good fit for my team. You know, if you're going to show up and be on time every day. You know, if we like working with you. You know, all that kind of stuff. So he kept it real. And then I did the internship for 10 weeks. At the end of it, they gave me a full-time offer to come back.
Man, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Appreciate it.
That's quite a journey right there, bro.
Yeah. So I've been with them ever since.
Dang, wow. So like, what did you tell him when he was asking you about Zaxby's? Like, what did he ask you to kind of gauge whether you'd be a good fit?
It was just like hypothetical stuff. Like, oh, let's say like, you know, this happens. Mm-hmm. How would you react? You know, such and such. Just kind of trying to see if I was like a team player.
Right.
You know, because that's one thing about, you know, working in like the corporate life or whatever. It's different from school because school it's a lot more like individualistic. You know.
Right. It's all on you.
It's
you
all
gotta
on
study.
You, right? Like if I don't study for my test and I fail, oh well.
Nobody else goes down.
No one else is affected by it. Exactly. But if we're at work and I'm just like, nah, I just don't feel like doing this work, right? Mm-hmm. Then it might show up in the reports that this isn't done. Everything starts going red. Then my whole team and my manager looks bad.
Right.
And that goes all the way up the chain. Okay. And then there's a problem.
Right.
So.
Wow. Dang, that's serious.
Yeah.
So let's talk about cybersecurity real quick because, so you know I live in Atlanta and it was it was last month. They said some Russian hackers hacked one of the pipelines, one of the main gas pipelines. I forget what the name of it was. Let me see what the name of that pipeline was. A cyber attack by hackers who locked up computer systems and demanded a ransom hit the pipeline on May 7th. The hackers did not take control of the operations, but the Georgia-based company shut the line to prevent malware from affecting systems. So they shut it down and they were like, yo, you got to pay us and then we'll release the ability to use it. And gas price, everybody started panicking. Everybody was like, yo, we're not going to have no gas. People were going to the gas station, bro, filling up their tanks. People were going with all those containers, filling up containers. People were filling up gas in grocery bags, trying to take it home.
I saw some of that online. Yeah, I saw some of that.
Yo, crazy, bro. But that just kind of goes to show like how important like cybersecurity is going to be moving forward. Because like if something that major can be attacked, that impacts the economy as a whole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so when it comes to cybersecurity, like what do you personally like do in order to like let's say something like that happen, like what are things that have to be put in place? So, like just tell me, because I don't know nothing about cybersecurity.
All right. So when it comes to a ransomware attack, which is what that is, you know,
okay,
you lock up files and all that, and you demand some kind of payment. One thing you want to make sure you have is backups of everything, right?
Gotcha.
Because, you know, the thing is they lock everything, they threaten to delete it if you don't give them money. And generally what I was taught is you never pay it. Never pay the ransom.
Right.
Because it's gonna
inspire more people to hack you.
Exactly. People are gonna see, oh, it works. Oh, I'm gonna keep trying it with other people. So you don't want to pay it and you want to make sure you always have backups so you don't run into shit like that. As far as what I do, I'm not necessarily on the front lines like chasing hackers across the deep web. Or
right.
Like
That's
yeah. I'm on the risk management side, so I support different cyber teams within my firm.
Mm-hmm.
So
what does that mean?
So as a risk manager, the way I manage risk, right? So there's 3 ways that I do it, right? Coordinating audits, which is kind of like project managerial role. I work with the auditors and the teams being audited. Make sure deliverables are like on time and proper. The second thing is issue management. So let's say there's some kind of information security gap within like a process or a control that a team has. So like for instance, if in the policy it says, a password has to be 8 characters, you have to have a uppercase, lowercase, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And it turns out that we're not doing that.
Oh.
That's a gap and that's a risk, right? So we have to come up with corrective action plans to address that risk and close it.
Wow.
So also help manage those. And then the third way is the reporting. So we report all those things up to senior management so they can make decisions on how we move forward with things like that.
Wow. So like it's almost like you're like a coach and you're coordinating like the offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
yo, hey, offensive coordinator do this, defensive coordinator do this, special teams coordinator do this. And you're like making I always relate stuff back to sports.
I'm not out there with a ball in my hands, but I'm kind of like making sure, facilitating, making sure everything is running the way it's supposed to. Yeah.
That's what's up. And I know you play football. That's why I had
to
bring up the football reference.
Unfortunately, they never let me play on offense. I wanted to play receiver, but
yeah,
linebacker.
Yeah, you look like the type to play linebacker.
I'll take it.
Yeah, man. So now that you're in Tampa, bro, like how's that journey been for you? That transition and like how you been enjoying it, bro?
Tampa I feel like it's got a lot more going on, right? So there's 3 professional sports teams here. The Lightning won the Stanley Cup in hockey, and the Bucks won the Super Bowl. The first team ever to host their own Super Bowl and win it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
To even host it in general, but then they won it.
Yeah.
And then the Rays made it to the World Series.
Wow. So all the teams are just doing good. And when the sports teams are doing good, the city, that brings in so much into the city because it becomes a travel destination for all the business people, tech. My boy is out here, he's working in tech and software engineering, and like that's like a whole different aspect that's popping off in the city. And then, I mean, of course, all the nightlife, all the events and things like that. I know that's popping.
Yeah, definitely.
I appreciate you even having me out here because, bro, I was just down in Miami. Miami was on a whole different level, bro, because like we had like a little entrepreneurship conference. It wasn't a little, it was a big entrepreneurship conference. It was lit. Shout out to my boy Breon for putting that together. That was amazing. There was like a panel discussion and everybody was, sitting there answering questions back and forth from the audience. Each one of them presented and all of that. So that was really dope to be in Miami for that. So after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay in Miami a little bit longer. Yeah. I had my merchandise, I had all my equipment with me, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make some music, find some shows, perform, and sell this merch. So I was going hard out there, and I was like, I was just getting burnt out from Miami. I texted you, I was like, yo, you in town this weekend? You're like, you hit me back quick too. I was like, yo, you hit me back quick. I was like, yo, I'm pulling up tomorrow. You're like, all right, pull up. Came through, man. Man, I'm not even gonna go into all of that, but it's been amazing, and like you even got me you got me connected with a few of your friends that do business. So like your other friend was advising me on virtual assistants, and then now your other friend is coming through, and we're about to do a photo shoot and a video shoot. So it's like leveraging your connections, leveraging your network, building relationships, and maintaining relationships. Yes. That's one thing that's really huge that I've been realizing.
And I got to give you credit. That's one thing you're really, really good at is with the connections. Forming connections and then maintaining them. I wish I was as good at that as you are. I feel like I'm good, but I'm not. Like I feel like you're great.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that because, like, to me, the way I look at it is like, I'm like, okay, everybody got something to offer me at the end of the day. Everybody got something to offer, and whether or not I might think that they're the right person that's gonna end up working for me, I can get something out of that situation, or I can give them something. We can exchange value. That's how I kind of perceive that. Whether it just be an Instagram follow. Like, hey, follow me, I'll follow you back. I'll check in with you, see what you got going on. Build those relationships, y'all, and maintain those relationships and add value, overextend value. Because when you give people more value than they expect or than they have given you, it's like they appreciate you so much more, and they keep an eye out for you. They look out for you. And, you know, me and my brother Vince, we always had that type of relationship from the beginning. This is the Dukesday podcast. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you comment, like, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Shout out to Vince for having me, and shout out to him for coming through to the podcast.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, likewise. Peace.
Peace.